here we go! Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. Today, I have the big announcement. We are starting to open a placer mine. Yes, not just a prospect, not just a hobby panning thing or high banking. Today is a real big, full-scale placer mine. Hopefully this will be an ongoing series on my channel, at least for this year, if not for years to come. So wish me luck, and I hope you enjoy. Now, our first job for this operation, we low bedded in the big excavator yesterday. Today, we're walking it down to the site. Probably gonna be an hour or more to get it down there. It's a long ways in, and that is a slow machine. Now, as you can tell from the beautiful colors around here, it is fall, it is late October, and this season's job is opening up the road to get in here, digging some test sites around the bar that we'll be mining, and seeing where the best grades of gravel are. It has been a long process getting to this point here. I picked up this claim about 3 years ago. 7 cells, that's hundreds of acres of placer ground in the exciting Caribou district. That's where all the big gold mines are in British Columbia. I picked up 7 cells, a huge thing, and it took us 2 years to get permits on the site for mining down here. It's taken us another year to gain access, and unfortunately we had a forest fire in the area that blocked us out from almost the entire summer of work up here. But 3 years into it, and we are finally starting. I am so excited. This will be my first big scale mine. I've done some small scale mining and a ton of prospecting. This is my first large scale mine, and I am excited. Okay, let's follow the excavator down. Tyler's driving today, the big excavator. We made it down on the road. Now we're just making a little bit of an access road to the dig site. Now, luckily, the forest here is open enough that we don't have to cut down any trees. We're just scraping a little bit of the ground to make the road in. It's very low impact, and that's what we like. Probably about 100, maybe 200 feet of this kind of stuff, and it will be easy access. And as Tyler was explaining to me earlier, the grades that we need to make this operation profitable, what we're hoping for is that the gravels that we dig eventually have 0.3 to 0.35 grams per yard is a good profitable mine. If we have 0.25 to 3, that's still doable. If we have 0.2 to 0.25, then it's at the point we have to, is it worth it at that point? Anything less than 0.2 is not worth it. And that is what this season is to determine. Tyler's picked a pathway in here. We don't even have to take down any of the shrubbery. It's basically just open ground. A few little twigs and whatnot, but we're trying our best not to disturb any greenery, any big greenery here as we go in. I am sure glad I don't have to walk through this without this path. There is devil's club everywhere, and it's already lost its leaf, so it's just these nasty little pokey things that would be horrific to walk through. Devil's club, one of our very, very nasty plants around here. When I was about 20, I got hit in the back of the leg with one of these thorns real hard. It stuck in, I pulled it out. I still to this day have a scar where that thing hit me. Injected with poison. Oh, did it hurt. Devil's club. Nasty stuff. He's digging through pay. Oh, I want to take my pan out and test it. I'm gonna have lots of opportunity for that. but just the road is sitting on gold. You know, even if this wasn't my gold mine here, just to be part of this adventure, part of this whole thing, freaking amazing. And it ended up being a little bit farther into the river than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were only a few hundred feet, maybe 300 or 400 feet from the river. But once we started going in, I found it's about double that, maybe even triple. Because what I thought I saw was the river opening was actually just a cliff where the trees were sort of down lower. So I thought I could see where the river was. It's a bit farther than we thought. So it's taken us a bit longer to get in here. But luckily, Tyler is awesome with that excavator, and going over this 60-foot slope that I mistook for the river, no problem for Tyler. He's able to just cut into it nicely. He's coming down quite easily. While I wait for Tyler to cut his way down here, I'm going to answer a question that I get all the time. Do you replant trees when you're done mining? Yes, here in British Columbia, we have very strict environmental rules around mining. And once we're done this whole operation, yes, we reclimate. We bring the ground back to its natural levels. We plant trees, we plant shrubs, we let it grow back. Yes, we make sure it comes back to its natural state once we're done mining. Even the road we're building in right now, we will go and remove that once we're done. When we're done, that could be 20 years from now. It could be a long time. This could be a huge operation that lasts us decades. But when we're done, we'll make sure Mother Nature is back to normal. And another question I get is, what do you do with the gold that you mine here? Well, it goes into the gold commodity. Basically, it gets sold to gold refineries and whatnot, and it is the gold that goes into making your cell phone, making your Tesla car, making all the electronics that we use today in today's society. The gold here just gets sold into the commodity of gold that the world uses. Yes, I take some of it and I make pay dirt bags for other miners to mine their own placer gold, but the majority of it just goes into the general stock of gold that the world uses. When Tyler's done digging the road down the hill here, I am very eager to go look at the gravels he's digging through. I know that's pay dirt. Look at the gravels he was digging through. Rusty red means there's lots of iron in there. Iron is the black sands we're always talking about. Rusty, rusty red. And then right down onto blue clay. A quick interlude from the video to talk about these blue clays on the Quesnel River. Quesnel River is known for having this base of clay, which is kind of a blue color. And it's known that the placer deposits are sitting on the blue clay. However, there's a really neat, fascinating fact here is that this blue clay is hugely thick, like massive. But underneath the blue clay are some ancient channels of the Quesnel River that hold massive placer gold deposits. Massive. I got to talk with one of the miners right across the river from us who is running an operation where they're trying to map out all of the old channels that are underneath the blue clay. And what they're doing is they're doing ground penetrating radar to find out where those old channels are, and then they're drilling down into the channels to see which one is the one that is holding the $1 billion of gold. Really fascinating, but they have to drill down a very long ways to get to those channels to see what they have in them. Now, my claim might be sitting right on top of one of those channels, and I could have billions of dollars of gold down there. However, it's not a type or scale of operation that myself, Tyler, that we can do because it is so far down. But it is interesting to know that my claim might hold billions of gold in one of those old channels. Now, unfortunately, what we're looking for is one of the smaller deposits that sits up on top of the blue clay, and those can still be very lucrative, but not that, you know. Right down onto blue clay. For the Quesnel River, everything we see here is exactly what you want to see. And Tyler is a beast with that machine. He is doing a great job. He's just gonna come up here and smooth down the road now. There will need to be some tests along here. We're not down to the water yet, but I can definitely dig some gravels from that red rusty stuff. And look at the quartz coming out of this. That's why this stuff is so good for gold. There is so much gold-bearing quartz right in the river. This country, the Barkerville, Quesnel River area, loaded in gold. I'm gonna keep that one. I'll get you some close-up pictures of that for later in the video. And over here is another area I will have to test. Here's the blue clay that this area is known for. And we've managed to dig down into the blue clay a little bit here. And we can slowly go up until we find right there the transition between the blue clay and the river gravels. We will have to test that once I get an empty pan. Big cobbles right on top, smaller cobbles on the top above it, and then we have the blue clay and gravel sitting right on it. That's where you find the gold. But first you gotta get to the river so I can pan it. Hey, we found the river! I had to do a bunch of bushwhacking to get here, so I didn't bring the pan with me. But we are at the river. It's the Quesnel River, just outside of Quesnel, British Columbia. All of those gravels have gold in them. Now, I haven't had a chance to introduce my buddy Tyler here because he's been in the excavator all day long. But this is my friend Tyler. He is going to be the manager of this placer mine. He's going to be doing all the hard work. As he was doing all day long today. Now, if you're not familiar with Tyler, Tyler runs a YouTube channel as well. Yep. What's it called?
The Mining Channel.
The Mining Channel. All about the next step up in mining, the bigger stuff than what I do. So if you want to check out the next scale, check out Tyler's channel.
I haven't uploaded in quite a while, but soon I'll actually upload. We just had a baby, so my little Zoe's taking up a lot of time.
How old's Zoe?
She is 10 months today.
10 months today, yeah. Nice. Anyhow, the two of us here, we're gonna be turning this bank here into a placer mine in no time. And as Tyler is mining in there, I hope to be out here doing some high banking and panning and all that kind of stuff out on the river's edge as well. So I'm just gonna go for about a 10-minute walk while Tyler continues building the road and check out what this looks like down at the river level. And this here's what I wanted to see. Big, wide open gravel bars on this big inside corner. Lots of place to run the high banker. Lots of divots to discharge into so it doesn't get back to the river. Lots of potential. We have heard of people high banking the Quesnel River, pulling out 3 ounces in a weekend. There's good gold here. Just gotta find that right pay streak. Find easy access, although I think Tyler is doing that for me. And wow, we got a potential here. What a beautiful day. Fall colors all around. Beautiful, beautiful area. Okay, this is awesome. Love what I see. Now my job is to find out how I access this from where Tyler's placer operation is going to be. Okay, our placer operation. Yes, Tyler's doing the majority of the work there. I'm just filming it all. Well, I think that's day 1 under our belt, but I really like to see what's in that pan. And unfortunately, there's no easy access to water right here. I want to show that to you before the video's done. All right, we have some water in a pit. Let's go pan that out. Oh, it is gonna be cold. Oh, it's not bad. Actually, it's really not bad. Guess the groundwater is still somewhat warm. This is that rusty layer up there. I assume because it's a rusty layer, it means it's high in the iron sands, the magnetic black sands. And those often fall out where gold falls out. And we'll do one more pan of that layer sitting right on the blue clay. Come on. on, gold. Come on, gold. And remember, an exploration activity like we're doing today, it's not about recovering the gold or the value of gold. You never make money when you're prospecting or exploring. This whole trip is going to cost us about $20,000 to do this exploration down here. Today, or this week, is all about figuring out if there's a gold deposit worth mining down here. Let's see if we got anything in the first pan. Hey, hey, hey! 2 flakes of gold. It's a start. We'll get a lot more than that once we bring out the high banker or the trommel. Love seeing gold in the pan. Now, when I first started talking to people about working the Quesnel River, an old timer told me that the trick to the Quesnel is look for the clay layer. And the gold is sitting on the clay layer. So I'm going to find just that layer right there and fill a pan from the transition between the clay to the gravels. The big cobbles here looks to be a good spot to try that. 1 pan from that. And let's get rid of whatever's in my pan. I've already sucked up the gold. Okay, 1 pan of that, and then I think that's good for the day. I forgot my classifier at the bottom. Oh well, we'll do this one unclassified. That looks like a panful. I think this time we're gonna walk over to the little slough and pan in the slough. Well, it's not much water, but let's pan in it all the same. So, is the second pan from this claim gonna show me anything? This week here at this site determines whether we mine this site or not. The idea is that we're going to test. We're gonna poke holes all over the place. We're gonna look for the results. And if the results from the tests of this week show enough, and as I said, you know, that 0.25 to 0.35 number is the number we're looking for. If it shows enough, then we're coming back here next year to mine this. If it doesn't, this is a lot of effort for nothing.
I shouldn't say this is a lot of effort for nothing. This is a very large claim, 7 cells, hundreds of acres, and this is only one of four spots that we've identified that could have a great deposit. So yes, we're testing the first of 4 right now.
But that is mining for you. You never know what you're gonna find when you get onto a site. Even though the Quesnel River is known for its crazy good gold deposits, they're not everywhere. And this is an untested site. Now I'm gonna stop making excuses why we're failing before we even started. First pan showed good gold. Second pan, better gold. And if this site doesn't turn out to be a mineable site, I do have 2 other claims in the area that Tyler is, you know, willing to put some effort into to see if maybe they have something good. Okay, here we are, down to the end. Not seeing much in the way of black sands in there. We got cold hands is what we got. Oh, I'm not seeing nothing. Oh, no. Oh, maybe. Oh, nope. Well, no gold in the second pan. Anyhow, tomorrow we bring out the high banker.
Here's that chunk of ore I pulled out earlier. I said I was going to check out closer up. Well, this is a typical chunk of gold-bearing ore. It's mostly quartz from a quartz vein. Now, this is river tumbled, obviously. It's got iron pockets throughout. If you look down the base of that iron pocket, let's see if I can get in there and actually show you, you'll see some calcite in the bottom. I might have to get some extra light down there for you to see that. Anyhow, iron, quartz, calcite, a bunch of other metals, and gold all precipitate out at the same sort of relative time when these fluids are hardening up. So that's why they're often all together. And when we're looking at the river gravels, we see lots of these chunks of ore that would indicate, oh yes, there's stuff coming out on this river that could be eroding gold into the placers. Very unlikely I would see a piece of gold in this ore, but if I was ever to find a piece of ore on the Quesnel River that showed gold, it would probably be something that looked like that. The iron and calcium dissolve away, the quartz does not, and that's why you get these vugs, these pockets. There's the calcium, that down in the bottom there, the calcium. There's more calcium. Surrounded by iron, and ideally, there would be gold, but very unlikely.
Okay, there's great potential here. Day one is done. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please leave me that thumbs up. If I haven't earned your subscription yet, I hope I earned it today. And a big thanks to everyone for watching. Another big thanks to Tyler. And until the next one, bye.
Moving mountains and I will. There's gold in them there hills.